Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on September 19th, 2025, which was about 3 days ago. The headline result is that the method generates full repositories that average nearly 36,000 lines of code, while reaching 81.5% functional coverage and a 69.7% pass rate, beating the strongest baseline by large margins. The paper is titled RPG, a repository planning graph for unified and scalable codebase generation, and as we'll see later, the results are really impressive. In short, this paper introduces a graph blueprint for planning and coding entire repos, plus a benchmark and system that show larger, more coherent outputs than natural language workflows. Alright, Figure 1 presents the whole ZeroRepo pipeline that turns a plain request into a working repository. The figure conveys that a persistent planning graph keeps intent and structure aligned, which matters because long projects drift when plans live only in natural language. Panel A maps a user query onto a functionality graph. Panel B then refines it into files and type data flows, so interfaces and ordering are explicit. Panel C finally generates code with graph-guided traversal and tests for validation. So Figure 2 shows how the planning graph turns a vague repo idea into a concrete, dependency-aware blueprint. The graph encodes capability hierarchy, which means big features break into files and then into functions, and it also marks data flows so modules connect in the right order. The colored nodes align with folders, files, and functions, while black arrows indicate cross-module data movement. Dashed gray arrows capture within module file sequencing, which stabilizes implementation. So Table 1 defines the benchmark landscape by listing 6 real projects and their paraphrase names, plus size and test counts, which sets expectations for scale and difficulty. The table shows broad diversity across domains, which matters because agents must plan for very different module layouts. The repositories span thousands of files and up to millions of code tokens, so generated outputs must be large and consistent. These test counts also anchor accuracy measurements since each project contributes many tests. So Table 2 compares end-to-end agents on the RepoCraft benchmark and shows a decisive gap in both quality and scale. The table presents coverage, novelty rate, pass and vote accuracy, and code size, which together indicate how complete and reliable the generated repositories are. ZeroRepo leads with far higher coverage and pass rate, and it also produces much larger codebases. The Gold Projects row serves as a sanity check because human-written repositories score near perfect on the automated pipeline. Okay, 2 takeaways stand out. A persistent planning graph turns fuzzy specs into a dependency-aware blueprint, so long projects stay coherent, and the graph-guided system scales, delivering much larger repos with higher coverage and pass rates than natural language workflows. The broader implication is clear. Structured planning substrates unlock long-horizon software generation. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.